we had discussed about the chapter 3, that is about human reproduction. Some of the concepts I have explained, and we have discussed some concepts of human reproduction. So like the detailed aspects of male reproductive system, female reproductive system, the gametogenesis, the spermatogenesis and the oogenesis. So as you all know that the male reproductive system that mainly consists of the primary sex organs, the testicles and the accessory sex organs and the external genitalia, that is what we call as the penis. As well as the female reproductive system also, that consists of primary sex organs like the ovaries, the accessory ducts and the accessory sex organs or the secondary sex organs like the uterus, cervix and the vagina. And the gametogenesis, the process by which the gametes are produced by means of meiosis inside the gonads. The sperms are produced inside the testicles, the process what we call as spermatogenesis. Similarly, the ovum or the egg is produced by the ovary by means of meiosis, and that process what is called as oogenesis. See, both the spermatogenesis and the oogenesis, they were regulated mainly by the endocrine glands, the hormones which are secreted in the body. Mainly the gonadotropins like LH and the FSH, the luteinizing hormone and the follicular stimulating hormone. And I also have discussed about or explained about the role of the hormones which plays a very important role in maintaining the sexual characters in both in males as well as in females. So these are the topics I have covered up to here. So that is up to gametogenesis. I have completed the oogenesis as well as the spermatogenesis and also the hormonal regulation of the spermatogenesis and the oogenesis. So I said the main hormones, the follicular stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. In case of males, follicular stimulating hormone that induces spermatogenesis, where the formation of the sperms, and whereas the luteinizing hormone that is mainly responsible for the secretion or stimulates the interstitial cells or Leydig cells to secrete testosterone. So whereas in case of females, the follicular stimulating hormone that mainly stimulates the development of the ovarian follicles. Okay, so where some of the follicle they reach maturity at the time of the puberty or during the menstruation. So where they reaches maturity and they produces the egg or the ovum. So that is a function of FSH. And whereas the luteinizing hormone, so that is mainly responsible for ovulation. That is mainly nothing but the rupturing of Graafian follicle to release the ovum. So up to here we have completed the topics in human reproduction. So today I am going to discuss about one of the important concept, that is menstrual cycle. This is a reproductive cycle that is observed in humans as well as in primates. The mammals, that is what is known as primates, as well as in human beings. The human female reproductive system or reproductive cycle, that is what is called as menstrual cycle. See, menstrual cycle is nothing but a periodic or rhythmic changes that occurs in female reproductive system is what is called as menstrual cycle or endometrial cycle. See, the duration of menstrual cycle, it is about 28 to 32 days. The duration is about 28 to 32 days. All human females and also the primates, they show the reproductive cycle, that is what is called as menstrual cycle or endometrial cycle. So the other mammals, so where you have studied the estrous cycle or the heat period. So there are differences between the estrous cycle and the menstrual cycle that I have explained earlier. See, the beginning of the menstrual cycle that attains once the females strike the puberty or once the females reaches the puberty around the age of 12 to 16 years. So where once the female reaches the puberty, the menstrual cycle begins. The first menstruation or the beginning of the first menstrual cycle is what we call as menarche. The beginning of first menstrual cycle is called as menarche. See, all females, the reproductively active females or the fertile females, they show this one, the menstrual cycle. So ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲೂ reproductively active ಆಗಿರೋಂಥ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ menstrual cycle ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಅದು. So it takes every month. So that is about the duration of 28 to 32 days. The first menstruation that occurs once the female hits the puberty, that is what we call as menarche. So 1 marks question will be asked, what is menarche? So this is the first menstruation that takes place at the time of puberty, that is called as menarche, and this overall events is mainly regulated by the hormones which are secreted in the female body, the gonadotropins and the other hormones like progesterone and estrogen. Okay, see, for our convenience, the menstrual cycle is divided into several phases. Okay, see, let us look about the phases which can seen in the menstrual cycle. The phases of menstrual cycle that mainly includes, this is about the first phase, menstrual phase. Menstrual phase. Okay, and the second one is follicular phase. Follicular phase, and the third one ovulatory phase. Ovulatory phase, and the fourth one is luteal phase. Luteal phase, this is also called as post-ovulatory phase. Post-ovulatory phase. See, these are the following phases of the menstrual cycle, also known as endometrial cycle. This is mainly regarded as endometrial cycle because a new layer of endometrium is secreted in every cycle. The old layer of endometrium that was ruptured, and a new layer of endometrium, it is secreted in each cycle. That's why it is also known as endometrial cycle. A 1 marks question will be asked, which layer of uterus that participates in menstrual cycle, that is endometrium. So which layer of uterus that involved during parturition, so that is myometrium. So I have explained the layers of the uterus. Okay, so as the major layer, the endometrium, that involves in this rhythmic changes or periodic changes, that's why menstrual cycle is also called as endometrial cycle or reproductive cycle or the menstrual cycle. Okay, so let us look at the stages involved in the menstrual cycle. See, the first stage is menstrual phase. This menstrual phase is also known as bleeding phase. Menstrual cycle is also called as bleeding phase, mainly because the ruptured endometrium, the old endometrium that ruptures are worn out, and the blood vessels which are found or supplies the endometrium, they rupture, and a layer of the endometrium, the upper layer, that ruptures and that passed out of the body. Okay, that goes out of the body. So during that, some amount of blood is seen in the vaginal secretion. Okay, so that is about from first day to fifth day. So we can observe bleeding from day 1 to day 5. So where the endometrial layer, the old endometrial layer, that ruptures, along with that some of the blood vessels also ruptures. The ruptured endometrium that goes out of the body, that through the vagina. Okay, so during that we can see bleeding. Okay, the blood is seen in the vaginal secretion, and that is about 1 to 5 days. You can observe the bleeding between 1 to 5 days. Okay, so that is what is called as menstrual phase or the bleeding phase. Okay, mainly the phase is characterized by the rupturing of old endometrium. Okay, and the next one is follicular phase. During the follicular phase, the hormones like FSH, the follicular stimulating hormone, their level gradually starts increasing. You know that the two gonadotropins, FSH and the LH, the follicular stimulating hormone that is secreted by the anterior pituitary gland, its level that gradually rises. So thereby the follicles which are found in the ovary, I have explained what are follicles, like primary follicle, secondary follicle, then tertiary follicle, or the Graafian follicle, or the matured follicle. Okay, so these follicles, they starts maturing. See, 1 to 5 follicles or 6 to 7 follicles, they matures by the action of follicular stimulating hormone, but among that only one follicle that reach complete maturity, that dominates over the other follicles, and that will reach as a maturity. That is what is called as Graafian follicle. The phase is mainly characterized by the development of the follicle or the maturation of the follicle. Maturation of follicle is observed during the follicular phase, characterized by the synthesis of FSH, that is follicular stimulating hormone, that stimulates the maturation of the follicle. I have said that around 6 to 7 follicles they matures, but ultimately only one follicle that reaches complete maturity, that dominates the other follicles, and the remaining follicles will reabsorb, they disintegrates. Okay, that is by the action of the hormone what is called as follicular stimulating hormone. Its level gradually rises. Okay, from the day one, the level of the follicular stimulating hormone that rises and induces the development or the maturation of the follicle. Okay, so that is the main function of follicular stimulating hormone. So, and also the hormones like estradiol that mainly regulates the menstrual cycle in females. The hormones like estradiol and the follicular stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. So these main hormones, along with that, you know that estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen and the progesterone. So these are main hormones which plays a role in menstrual cycle. Okay. So I think you came to know about the follicular phase. Okay. This is also known as proliferative phase. Follicular phase is also called as proliferative phase. Okay. And the next one, the third phase, is ovulatory phase. So that usually begins the ovulation of around 12 to 14 days. Okay, in the midway of the menstrual cycle. Okay, usually the ovulation that takes place in the midway of the menstrual cycle. Suppose a female is having 28-day cycle, a regular 28-day cycle, the ovulation that takes place on 14th day. That is the standard duration. Suppose a female is having 30 days or 32 days cycle, the ovulation takes place on the midday of those days. Okay, suppose 30 days, the ovulation may take place on 15th day or it may take place on 16th day. Okay, but the standard duration for ovulation is about 14 days. The ovulatory phase is mainly characterized by the release of ovum or the egg by the matured follicle, that is the Graafian follicle. So where the egg or the ovum is mainly released by the action of the hormone luteinizing hormone or the LH. See, this is a major hormone that is responsible for rupturing of Graafian follicle to release the egg or ovum. So that process what is called as ovulation. You have studied that. Okay, ovulation is a process of release of egg or the ovum by rupturing of Graafian follicle. Okay, and that process, that is what is called as ovulation. Mainly ovulation is induced by luteinizing hormone. By the meantime, the ovum is released by the Graafian follicle. So now the Graafian follicle, once after the release of ovum, it converts into corpus luteum. So this is also I have explained in my previous classes. Corpus luteum. Graafian follicle, once after ovulation, it becomes corpus luteum. Ovulation is under the regulation of luteinizing hormone. See, one question will be asked, why ovulation takes place on 14th day? The reason is the level of LH and FSH, they were in peak. Their level double fold of synthesis of LH and FSH at that time. That is during the 14th day or in the midway of the menstrual cycle. So where these increase in the level of FSH and the LH, that causes the Graafian follicle to release the ovum, and that is called as ovulation. Once after the Graafian follicle releases the ovum, it becomes empty, and now that empty follicle is called as corpus luteum. Okay, so and that phase is what is called as ovulatory phase. High level of, see, the level of FSH and the level of LH that increases, they were in peak. Both the FSH and the LH, they were in peak during the midway of menstrual cycle, that is around the 14th day. So that causes the Graafian follicle to rupture and to release the ovum. So that empty Graafian follicle, once after the release of ovum, that is what is called as corpus luteum. This is a very important structure that is produced after the ovulation, mainly helps to respond or to maintain the pregnancy, because it secretes progesterone. Okay, so let us look at this in the next phase, that is luteal phase or post-ovulatory phase, means once after the ovulation. See, the luteal phase is characterized by the remaining of or the persistence of corpus luteum. The corpus luteum that remains and that starts secreting the hormones like progesterone. It starts secreting the hormones like progesterone, and little amount of estrogen is secreted by this. Which one? The corpus luteum. See, the progesterone is a major important hormone that is mainly responsible for the maintenance of pregnancy. Okay, it makes the uterus more spongy. It increases the thickness of the endometrium, where it helps in implantation. Where the progesterone that helps in implantation. See, implantation is nothing but the process by which the fertilized egg in the stage of blastocyst, it attaches to the endometrium of uterus. The fertilized egg that attaches to the endometrium of uterus, and that process what is called as implantation. The blastocyst that get found attached to endometrium, and that is what is called as implantation. See, for implantation the uterus should be prepared, the endometrial layer should be prepared. Okay, the thickness of the endometrium that will increases, and that is mainly by the hormone what is called as progesterone, and that is secreted by corpus luteum, and it also secretes little amount of estrogen. At this period, see, this is the fertile period. Okay, so after the 14th day, the ovum, it remains around 24 hours, it remains alive for 24 hours. If there is a mating or if there is a copulation at that time, if the male releases a semen into the vagina, so where the chances of fertilization will be more. This is what is called as fertile period. The 15th day or the 16th day, this is the fertile period, because the sperm can meet the ovum. At this period, suppose if there is a copulation or if there is a mating during this period, the sperm will meet the ovum and there will be a fusion or fertilization will take place between the sperm and the ovum, and that results in pregnancy. Okay. See, during the pregnancy, the menstrual cycle that ceases. There is no menstrual cycle once after the pregnancy is achieved. Okay, that ceases because of the level of progesterone and estrogen that will increases in the blood, that will mainly maintain the pregnancy. Okay. See, the corpus luteum, this can act as a temporary endocrine gland. So where it secretes progesterone in a major amount and estrogen in a lesser amount. Okay, and that is what is called as luteal phase or post-ovulatory phase. The condition is, if the fertilization occurs, the corpus luteum that remains, if the fertilization occurs, the corpus luteum that remains, okay, then it can act as temporary endocrine gland and produces progesterone. Higher the level of progesterone and estrogen, that inhibits the synthesis of FSH and LH. It prevents further development of the follicles. That's why I said, once there is a pregnancy, the menstrual cycle that ceases, the major reason behind this is the level of progesterone. When it is high in the blood, the FSH and LH synthesis that ceases or that stops, okay, or in a very low quantity or low amount they are secreted. Okay, so hence they cannot induce the further development of the follicles. So that's why progesterone is very much necessary to maintain the pregnancy. If these hormones get activated, FSH and LH, again they start another menstrual cycle. So one hormone that induces the development of the follicle and the other hormone will induces the rupturing of the Graafian follicle to release a ovum. Once if there is a fertilization, the corpus luteum that remains and can act as temporary endocrine gland, and that secretes the progesterone and the estrogen. So where they prevent the synthesis of FSH and LH. It means if the level of progesterone and estrogen in the blood is high, that was recognized, and the anterior pituitary that stops the synthesis of FSH and LH. Okay. If there is no fertilization, suppose if there is no mating or copulation between these days, between 14 or 15 days or 16 days, there is no copulation. in these days, if there is no fertilization, then the corpus luteum that gradually degenerates. If there is no fertilization, corpus luteum that degenerates and it do not secrete further progesterone and estrogen. Gradually the level of estrogen and the progesterone gradually that lowers in the blood. Again, that was recognized by the pituitary gland, especially the hypothalamus, that secretes GnRH. I have said, I have explained about this gonadotropin releasing hormone GnRH. So this in turn stimulates the anterior pituitary gland. In turn, it stimulates the anterior pituitary gland. Anterior pituitary gland. Anterior pituitary gland, in turn, it secretes FSH and the LH. Okay, again, the same process repeats. The FSH that stimulates the ovarian follicle to develop. I said that around 5 to 7 follicles they reach maturity. Among that, only one follicle, the dominant follicle that reaches the maturity, that is what is called as Graafian follicle. Okay. So whereas the LH that causes the rupturing of Graafian follicle. So all these events that takes place only once the lower the level of estrogen and progesterone in the blood. Okay, so then these hormones will get activated, FSH and the LH. So another menstrual cycle will begin. Okay, but when progesterone is higher in the level in the blood, then menstrual cycle that ceases. Okay. It may be for temporarily, that is after the completion of the parturition, and the breastfeeding also that inhibits the menstrual cycle. Okay. So again the menstrual cycle that reoccurs once after the completion of the parturition and the breastfeeding process, the menstrual cycle that will reoccur. Until then, the level of higher the level of progesterone that inhibits the menstruation. So that is one of the indication for testing of the pregnancy. Once the level of progesterone is high in the blood, so that may indicates one of the indication of the pregnancy. So that inhibits these two hormones. But when these levels, estrogen and the progesterone level, when it lowers in the blood, that was recognized by hypothalamus that secretes GnRH. Again, it stimulates anterior pituitary to secrete FSH and the LH. So where these two hormone induces another menstrual cycle. Okay. So then the corpus luteum that degenerates if there is no fertilization. Okay, so then another menstrual cycle will begins. If there is a fertilization, menstrual cycle ceases. Not permanently. I said that once after the parturition, after the completion of the breastfeeding, the menstrual cycle that reoccurs. Okay. Until then, it ceases once after the pregnancy or once after the fertilization. Okay. But there is no fertilization, it degenerates. These level will decreases. Again, the FSH and LH will increases in the blood. Again, this stimulates another menstrual cycle. Okay. See, I will explain. I will repeat once again. Menstrual cycle or endometrial cycle, it is a reproductive cycle of human females and also in primates and apes. That means monkeys and the apes. So where a periodic rhythmic changes that occurs in female reproductive system, that is called as menstrual cycle. The beginning of the menstrual cycle is what is called as menarche. The first menstrual cycle after the puberty is called as menarche. It includes several phases like menstrual phase, follicular phase, ovulatory phase or luteal phase. The first one is menstrual phase. This is also called as bleeding phase. This is characterized by bleeding. It means the old endometrial layer that ruptures and it will worn out or it goes out of the body through the vagina. So where blood can be seen in the secretion. That's why it is said to be bleeding phase. Gradually a new layer of endometrium is synthesized. By the mean way, a new layer is synthesized. And the second one is follicular phase or proliferative phase, where follicular phase is characterized by the development of the follicle. I have said that 5 to 7 follicles will develop, but only one will reaches the maturity. Okay. So under the influence of the hormone FSH, the level of FSH that gradually increases, that is about the follicular phase. And the next one is ovulatory phase, where the phase is characterized by the release of ovum, where higher the level of FSH and the LH, they are peak in level. That's why ovulation that takes place on 14th day or in the midway of the menstrual cycle. So they were double fold secretion of FSH and the LH. Okay, so this is characterized by the release of ovum, that is the ovulatory phase. So I have said the reason why ovulation takes place on 14th day, because the high secretions of LH and the FSH, they were in peak level, so that induces the Graafian follicle to rupture and to release the ovum. And whereas the last phase, that is luteal phase or the post-ovulatory phase, the luteal phase or post-ovulatory phase is characterized by the formation of corpus luteum. I have said that the empty Graafian follicle, it means once after the release of ovum, the Graafian follicle will become empty. So where that is what is called as corpus luteum. If there is a fertilization, or if fertilization occurs at that time, that is around the days of 14, 15 or 16 days. So I said that ovum that remain alive for 24 hours once after it release out of the Graafian follicle. So it waits in the fallopian tube for the arrival of the sperm. If the sperms are arrived at that time, the sperm will unite with the ovum and there will be a fertilization. If fertilization occurs, corpus luteum that remains and acts as a temporary endocrine gland. So where it secretes the hormones, like majorly it secretes progesterone and little bit amount of estrogen. So this progesterone is mainly responsible for the maintenance of pregnancy. I said that it prepares endometrium of the uterus for implantation. It makes the endometrium more spongy. The endometrial layer that increases with the blood supply. The high vascularization of the endometrium will take place. The thickness of the endometrium will increases. So this is the preparation done by the progesterone for the implantation. Okay, I said what is implantation? Implantation is nothing but the process by which the blastocyst that can get attaches to the endometrium. Okay, so that is called as implantation. That usually takes place 7 days after the fertilization or around the 7th day of fertilization. Okay, so then if there is no fertilization, the corpus luteum degenerates. Then the level of estrogen and the progesterone that decreases in the blood. Okay, so it was recognized by the endocrine system of the body. Again, it secretes FSH and LH. These two hormones, again they induces another menstrual cycle. Means overall menstrual cycle is totally regulated or controlled by the hormones. Okay, this is one of the physiological process, the most important physiological process. It is nothing but the reproductive phase. So see, without menstrual phase or without menstrual cycle, no reproduction can occur, because this is the only cycle in the human females responsible for the secretion of the ovum, the production of the ovum. Without female gamete, there is no chances of forming the young one, because the sexual reproduction is the one, as you know that the most important thing, the union of gametes. Okay, there is no gamete, there is no reproduction. Okay, hence there is no menstrual cycle, there is no reproduction. That's why it takes place in fertile females. Okay, so this is about the menstrual cycle, and the one most important thing is about the menopause. Menopause. See, menopause is nothing but the ceasing of menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle that ceases, the ceasing of menstrual cycle is called as menopause. 1 marks question will be asked, what is menopause? See, menopause is nothing but the ceasing of menstrual cycle is called as menopause. Usually the menstrual cycle that ceases when female reaches around the age of 45 to 50 or 55 years. Okay, so that is what is called as menopause. Menarche is the beginning of first menstrual cycle, whereas menopause is the end of menstrual cycle, where the ceasing of menstrual cycle is called as menopause. That takes place when females reaches the age around 45 to 50 or 55 years. Okay, so around during this period, suppose if a female attains maturity or puberty around 14 years, from 14 to 50 years up to here, during the complete time or duration of the menstrual cycle, during this reproductive period, a female can yearly produce 450 ovum or the egg. A female can yearly produce 450 egg or the ovum. Okay, so I have explained oogenesis. So where there will be formation of polar bodies. Okay, so that can, the reason behind the formation of polar bodies is to produce only one functional ovum. The remaining 3, you know that meiosis that results in the formation of 4 cells. Among the 4 cells, only one will become the ovum and the remaining 3 will become a polar body and they will degenerate. So that will reduces the number of female gametes. Okay, so once the number of female gametes will reduce to one, only one, then only one sperm will meets the ovum, then only one fetus will be produced. If all those 4 cells will becomes or forms the egg or the ovum, then the chances of formation of 4 fetus inside the female womb, it will be very difficult. Okay, so that the reason behind the formation of polar body is to reduce the number of haploid cells, is to reduce the number of eggs per menstruation. Okay, so this is about the menopause, where the menstrual cycle that will ceases. Okay, so after the 45 or 50 or 55 years. Okay, so this is about the menstrual cycle for today's class or for today's session. So in the next class I will come back with another topic, that is about fertilization and the implantation and the development of the fetus inside the womb. Okay, thank you.